From the very beginning of the web, the interwebs here.
The
interwebs. There's a company started by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Walk me through that. Walk me through that story.
Okay, well basically the Google guys, Larry and Sergey, they met in college, I want to say back, was it 94?
97.
97, see 97, fact checker right there, boom. So they meet, and basically they met and they're kind of going, they're talking, I'm not sure how the conversation goes down exactly, but essentially it's, I bet you we could come up with a better way for people to find information accurately using the internet. Because the internet at that point, when you would search for anything, you would go ahead and you would go up to your search, or you would be using like a lot of times you'd use AOL.com, or you would use one of those kind of search engines of the day. And when you would search on AOL, you would go up to their search and there would just be ads everywhere. An ad over here, the weather's over here, the sports score was here, and you just couldn't, just so much stuff, and the search bar is really small. And then once you searched, when you landed on your search results, the ads basically were like the entirety of the search. Almost none of it was quote unquote organic. It was just, the results were all ads, and it was just mind-boggling and terrible, and it wasn't very good as a user, and so it wasn't something that you wanted to do. Well, these guys, Larry and Sergey, what they did is they decided to start a search engine called Backrub. And the idea of Backrub was that it would be rewarding sites that had the most backlinks. That was their whole idea. The site was actually called Backrub. And what happened is they decided to use Stanford's server. And they used the Stanford server for basically to a point where Stanford could no longer justify these two guys using that much of their bandwidth, that much of the school's processing power was being used by these two dudes. Well, the website initially, we'll put the graphic up here, it was initially launched here at stanford.edu. So you had the google.stanford.edu. It was actually part of the Stanford website. So it was part of the college website. And they actually wrote this paper called The Anatomy of a Large-Scale Hypertextual Web Search Engine Excerpt. And in this paper, this is what they say. They said, "We present Google, a prototype of a large-scale search engine which makes heavy use of the structure present in hypertext. Google is designed to crawl and index the web efficiently and produce much more satisfying search results than existing systems. The prototype with a full text and hyperlink database of at least 24 million pages can be found at google.stanford.edu. And what's really cool is it's still there. So you can go there right now today and you can kind of see it. It's sort of a historical website. You can go there right now and check it out. And it's a really neat deal because these college kids, remember they had that college mindset of, hey, if we write a paper, we need to cite something. They had that mindset and they brought that to the internet. So it's really awesome for you as a business owner is you just now are on a quest to get backlinks, because the more backlinks you have, the more credibility you have in Google. And you'll move right up there. And it's not about who spends the most money. It's about who has the most high quality backlinks, who is truly the authority on the subject, and who has the most text. They talk a lot about the hypertextual text. They talk a lot about the text. And the way the internet works is HTML text, just text, words that you can highlight on the screen. We're going to pull up an example right now of HTML text on a website. You can see it right now. So if we're looking here on a website, just look at this website here. If you look at the very bottom of eitrlounge.com, we're pulling it up on the screen right now. eitrlounge.com, that's one of my companies. You're going to notice there's a lot of text here on the page. As you can see, as we click through, there's a lot of text. So the combination of text and backlinks is what makes our site top in Google in our market. So now as we pull up on the screen, as we go ahead and Google Tulsa haircuts, as you see right now, we're Googling Tulsa haircuts. We're also searching here. Let's go ahead and search for Tulsa men's haircuts. And as you can see on the screen, our site is pulling up top. Why is it pulling up top in Google? Because we have the most HTML text, original, honest, high-integrity text. We didn't copy text from anybody. And we have the most backlinks. But backlinks are a big component of this process. Now, one more thing you have to understand, and I'm going to read this to you, is the Google guys, Larry and Sergey, they submitted a paper kind of explaining what Google would be like. And this is how they described it. They said it would have these features. It would feature super search relevancy. It would have ad-free results. So when you're searching, you wouldn't find just ads. How frustrating would that be if you're searching for something and everything you find is an ad? So they wanted to make sure it didn't do that. It also had the ability to create advanced custom searches that include domains outside of Stanford. Because remember, it was all just at Stanford. And it allowed them to do search indexing. And relevancy feedback was used to improve Google's central index, providing better search results from Google as well as stanford.edu. New search features added to Google Custom Search will immediately be present on the Stanford Google Custom Search. They're saying, look, we're making this cool thing, and we're going to be able to find a more accurate way to search and find non-ads. Now, the crazy thing is to do that, they literally download the internet every day. They download all the websites every day, and they basically crawl it, as they call it, and they're searching and they're indexing it. So it'd be almost like you had an encyclopedia that every day you're adding new entries to. And so you add it, and something moves up to the top, something moves to the bottom, and they're indexing every day. It'd be like if you physically had a physical encyclopedia or a book, and you just keep adding chapters to it. And so the book gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that essentially is what a backlink is all about.